All right, what's going on, YouTube? We've got another video here tonight of the Dunces. Isandro, how you doing, bro? Thank you. And we got Johnny. What's good, Johnny?
What's going on? What's going on?
All right, man. Yo,
Yeah, I
it's a
never know
pleasure.
what to say, bro. I never would know what
I
to say.
know, I know.
Trying to
I'm
look
expecting something like chilling or like doing nothing,
I know, but
But
I want to be different every video, but then I don't know what else to say besides chilling and vibing. So
I
I
think
just stay
it's
quiet.
it's the same thing every week now. Like the past few weeks, it's just been, but it's okay.
Really?
I'm
So
not.
even that's just like something. Okay, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna switch it up.
That's you, bro. That's you. But it's okay. It don't matter. All right. But anyway, we want to get in today into some topics going on around the NBA. Obviously, because this is basically an NBA podcast, unless you guys have checked this out on Spotify. But as of right now, I do want to talk about Steph Curry. I am a very big fan of Steph Curry. Not a huge fan of the Warriors per se this season, like to make some noise. But Steph Curry dropped his career high a few days ago against Portland. After getting destroyed by Portland just the day prior, he dropped 62 points against Dame Dalla and the Portland Trailblazers. And then the next game, he followed it up with a 30-point near triple double. Guys, is Steph Curry back, or was Steph Curry always there and we just was slacking on him? Like, what do you guys think, Johnny? What do you think about Steph Curry, man?
Yo, Steph Curry. Steph Curry's the greatest shooter to ever play basketball.
Facts.
But the thing is that the reason why he had so much slander like the other day when they're losing is because we don't know if he can actually carry a team like by himself.
Ooh.
But
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. I feel like there's a lot of young teams in the West this year, and Steph Curry's getting older, which means he's getting smarter and he's picking out his spots. And it's and he's an underrated finisher, gets everyone involved, and more importantly, I feel like the thing about the Warriors is that they get up for every game, win or lose. That team, like you look at the Lakers this year. Sometimes the games they're here, sometimes they're not. But the Warriors are going to be there competing every single game. And the leadership of Draymond and Steph,
Of course.
Wiseman starting to come up. Wiseman, oh my god, yeah, Wiseman's
Balling.
really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. I like Steph a lot, and he's efficient from the 3 point shot as well. So yeah, he's back. He's back. We'll see.
All right. Yeah. I'm just gonna disagree with you a little bit on that, on a point you made there at the beginning. You said that Steph Curry has to prove that uh, that he can carry a team. I guess. I believe he proved it. I think
His
that
MVP
team.
season.
Not even a little bit before that, when he he that team was built through the draft, right? And a few free agency signings and a few trades. When it was Steph Curry, Clay, Draymond, Harrison Barnes, and Andrew Bogut. That team, yeah, it was great, but who was the leader of that team? And it was by far Steph Curry, right? And then obviously Iguodala off the bench, but Steph Curry carried a lot of those guys. He didn't really have another All NBA teammate, right? It was just Clay who was like third, or David Lee actually. He was third All NBA in one of those seasons, like back in 2014. After that, it was guys All NBA third team, not really All NBA first team type players until KD came, right? So that first championship that he won, I believe Steph Curry, that was him. Obviously, Iguodala won the Finals MVP.
Well,
Debatable, but I believe that Steph Curry has proved it. Now he's with an even less team. Now he just has to prove that he's good enough to make the eighth seed, which in reality he shouldn't really have to prove that because he's proved before that he can make it to the finals with a great squad, obviously, but led by him. You feel me? But what do you
nah,
think, John?
that's not the case because when you have to carry a team, that means your play has to make up for the deficiencies of the team around you. The Warriors they have a winning record when Steph Curry scores 30 points or more. So they can't win unless he scores 30 points. That means carry. That team in Golden State, they're built to the draft and they became a great team together.
Oh yeah,
Just because there was no all NBA players doesn't mean it was a great team. Like everyone elevated each other. You had Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala off the bench, Barbosa, Andrew Bogut. That team, everyone complimented each other. There was no carrying. But here, this is the first time in Steph Curry's career where he actually has to carry these young guys. Like his play, that's from LeBron. It's like it's almost like that LeBron team, almost like LeBron, that first Miami team, and then that Cavs team. If LeBron doesn't play well, that Cavs team will not win. And LeBron's done that his entire career. This is the first time Steph Curry has been put in this position, and we'll see if they can win by him doing that. That's why, like, if you're carrying something, like, he has to play good in order for the rest of the team to do. What do you think, Asandro?
I kind of agree. I mean, he did drop 62. However, it did like the upturn in form did coincide with obviously the 62 points, but you finally have Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. And you have Draymond Green coming back, right? So yeah, he was able to score that many points, but because he has these guys who they were doing so bad before, and now they're finally stepping up, I feel like that also needs to be taken into consideration.
Hey, let me just pause you real quick.
Yeah.
Let me just pause you real quick. Jeremy, welcome to the podcast. A little late there, but what's up, buddy? How are you?
Thank you.
How you feeling, man?
Feeling much better. Thank you for asking.
That's good, bro.
Much better. So
we missed you, man. We missed you. So just to reiterate what we're talking about, we're talking about Steph Curry dropping 62. We all know that's your boy. And then following it up with a near triple-double, 30-point triple-double. Yeah, so I basically asked the question, is Steph Curry back or was he just never gone? Isandro was just making a quick point. We had a little mini debate there, but Isandro, if you have anything else to say, you can go ahead. If not, I'm gonna ask Jeremy and his opinion on what.
No, I want to get his opinion too.
All right, go ahead, Jeremy.
He's never left. Just a few games of last year he played, obviously, and we all know the case. He got hurt, yes, but you don't take that long to recover of a hand injury. You don't. Yeah. Let's be honest. And it was better than that because now they did tank for the second pick. And look, Wiseman's a beauty.
You saw those plays in the Pistons game, bro, where he takes the ball down the court. And
beautiful.
I was like, bro, this man bugging.
It's beautiful.
So Curry never left. And the year before that, before he got hurt, he was still playing the same level as it is. As a Warriors fan, like, it doesn't surprise me that he's kicking up like that. It doesn't surprise me at all. It just shows that he never left. He's back again. Like,
I mean, we all knew that Curry was gonna ball out. I think there were very few people actually was like, "Oh, can Steph Curry?" No. I think the biggest thing, and even Jason said it at the beginning of this podcast, is the Warriors team itself. He didn't doubt Steph Curry's ability at all. He said this Warriors team is trash, and that's why they're not making into the top 8. That's the biggest thing. It's not about Steph Curry; it's about the team.
I don't know if you guys heard what Channing Frye said, but he said that this team is going to determine Stephen Curry's legacy. And there was a lot of pushback on that. When you think about it, a lot of the greatest players to ever play had to carry a team. When you think about it, like, and okay, maybe not MJ, but MJ was so great. LeBron, Kobe had to his years. Who else?
Well, just a quick point on MJ. His first few years, he struggled a bit, right, to even make it past the first round. Yeah. But that team shouldn't even have made it to the playoffs if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. So I guess in this case, you're right. He had to carry that team to get into the playoffs, which I think is what you were trying to make the point with Curry before, saying that, he has to carry that team because you're right. Technically, Curry does have to carry this team to the playoffs in order to be like, all right, like, this is Steph Curry. Like this man is amazing. Like, definitely top 10 or something, whatever, however you want to put him. I don't believe that, but just a quick thing, right? So if that's your point of Steph Curry carrying, by all means, I agree. Now, if you're talking about carrying to win, like, I don't know. But Isandro, go ahead. You have your answer.
How would you guys categorize carrying? Obviously, he can't drop 62 every single night, but what would you say he has to do in order to bring this Warriors team
Playoffs.
I mean, like, him personally, what does he need to do every game?
Johnny had it. He said it.
LeBron James took Matthew Dellavedova to 6 games in the finals against that first-year Steph Curry team.
But Matthew was playing great D on him.
You said what?
No homo, but he was playing good defense on him.
But it's crazy. It's crazy the the expectations we have for LeBron and for Steph. Like, if Steph makes it to 8th seed, bro, people will be celebrating Steph.
I will be happy.
LeBron would take this
I'll be
team
happy
to the
too.
finals, bro. LeBron would be taking this Warriors team to the finals. No cap. Because he's played with worse. He's played with absolute garbage.
In the East though, I think that's my only
East,
iteration. Like LeBron played in the East and it wasn't as tough, especially this season with how loaded the West is.
Yeah, no way
I don't
LeBron's
know.
taking this team in the West to first seed.
Yeah,
No way.
because everybody
But
said the same
LeBron's
thing when
teams were
LeBron
still
when
worse.
LeBron joined the Lakers, right? When LeBron
LeBron's
joined the Lakers
teams were
that first
still-
season,
But
they
think
thought
about it.
that he would
That
go to
Cavs
the
team was
conference
still-
finals.
That Cavs team was still significantly worse than most of the teams in the East.
Oh yeah,
So,
you're right.
Yeah, that levels the playing field.
You're
If that
right.
makes sense.
But even then, like during those times, the best teams in the East were what? Orlando, because Boston didn't make that trade yet when LeBron made it to the finals. Boston didn't make that trade yet, so they had what? Orlando.
I'm talking about carrying. Like, he did carry that team, but I'm talking about carrying like the Cavs with LeBron when he came back to Cleveland. Like,
Because the
that
first season he came back, but he went to the
Oh.
finals.
Okay, yeah, but they got there because they did have Kyrie for a good
And
chunk of
Love,
that playoff
and
run
Love, and they
until
had
the
Love as
final.
well.
Yeah,
Remember
so
that Kyle Korver? Remember when they dismantled that entire roster?
that was
He had
crazy.
all
That was
people,
crazy.
All IT, and he still made it to the finals.
You're
with
right,
Jordan and Rodney Hood. Damn,
You're
that's
right.
crazy.
You're right. LeBron has done so much, but again, Eastern Conference far significantly worse than the West. Now, for Isandro's question, I think Curry has to do what Johnny mentioned a few minutes before. Average about 30 points a game and get his teammates involved into positions where they can be great. Wiggins, as much as I can't stand his inconsistency, he could at least make a mid-range shot. Get him in spots that he's efficient. Wiseman's easy, man. Wiseman, he's a baller. I did in the video I did a few weeks ago with a few friends. I didn't have Wiseman as my rookie of the year. I still think it's LaMelo, but Wiseman, he might surpass him if he keeps playing at this level for the rest of the season. But as for the Warriors, man, Curry, like Jeremy hit it on the nose. Curry never left, and now that everybody's saying, oh, like he just dropped 60, it's a regular season game. No, he dropped 62 points against the good Portland Trailblazers team. So that was a very impressive
On
win, very
Lillard.
impressive game.
On Lillard.
On Lillard.
Lillard.
On
Remember that.
Lillard.
Who also balled out.
He
Who-
did
yeah.
ball out.
Balled out.
I mean, every
Exactly.
time Lillard plays against us, he always balls out. There's no
Yeah,
question about it.
that's
He always
facts.
does.
He had
Nah.
32, and I think the night before, he had also 32.
Yeah.
So
It's been a weird season so far, honestly. So many different teams, but Curry, like we said, he's never left. So if you are a Curry hater, don't hate. I mean, Curry, he's a baller. So
Don't hate on
Shout out.
greatness. Don't hate on greatness.
yeah, and shout out Draymond Green. He did get 1 point, so they combined for 63 points that game. So
There
shout
you
That
out.
was a good
Yeah.
goal.
Well,
The Draymond Green affects the game in so many
Defensively,
ways.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh yeah, he
that's
does.
so-
His
don't do
presence
it.
is important. His
You're right.
And he
presence.
had 8 assists too, more than
Yeah.
anybody on the entire team.
Yeah, no, I just like saying that they combined for 63 with Draymond just scoring 1 point. But it was a great game. But now I do want to get into another team in the West, Phoenix, who, as of now, I believe that they are the best team in the Western Conference. They're at 5-1. So Johnny does live in Arizona, but I do know he's a Lakers fan. So I want to get Isandro's take real quick on on Phoenix. What do you feel about them? What do you feel about Phoenix, bro?
I mean, I think we all kind of knew, but maybe we were kind of hesitant. We were kind of skeptical because of what we've seen in the past that Phoenix has shown us. But with Chris Paul joining that team and elevating those other players and D-Book, going off, and DeAndre Ayton also, like, I think he's had several nights where he drops 22 or 20-point games. It's really looking good for this Phoenix team, honestly.
Yeah. How about you, Johnny? What do you think about the Phoenix Suns?
Well, first of all, the ascension of Miles Bridges. You apparently can't
Michael.
miss from
Michael.
shot.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges?
Mikal Bridges.
Oh my! Why say Miles Bridges?
You said Miles.
Miles in Charlotte. Miles in Charlote.
Miles from New York. Yeah.
Mikal Bridges. Bro, Mikal Bridges, man, he can, man. Once he develops into that really 3-and-D wing, bro.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And
Special.
remember, I talked about in our before the season podcast about their bench, and their bench is really starting to come on. Like Cam Johnson, and they got each one more chilling on the bench. They have so
Yeah.
many pieces. Cameron Payne, and what I like about the Suns the most is that even though Booker needs the ball, but like he gets a shot within the flow of the offense. Like it doesn't seem like he's taking the ball too much. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh yeah.
he picks his spot so nicely. He can be like one dribble, jab step, and that's a jumper. You know, and he's not a ball stopper. They move the ball so well. And Chris Paul, obviously, you know, and Chris Paul hasn't even hit his peak yet this season. Like I feel like Chris Paul can hit another gear like at the end of the season when it really starts to matter.
Oh
But
yeah.
but like I said, the Suns started like this last year and they kind of fell off once the season. I want to see if they can like maintain this level of consistency. That's what we haven't seen from Suns, and then hopefully it continues into the playoffs. But right now, I could see them being 3 seed right now, no question. I could
Wow.
see them being 3 seed. Right
Bold take. Bold take. Because I know that we didn't really have Phoenix at the top of top
No,
three
I
of
had
our
them
list
I had them
before.
like at 5. I had them like at 5 to replace the Rockets.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. What about you, Jeremy? How do you feel about Phoenix?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Since COVID hit, I've been away from sports. Just Golden State has been watching. So,
Uh-huh.
but going back to our predictions, what we said back then, the way that Phoenix been playing and watching the news at least, the highlights at least, they're looking like a top 5 seeded team. Because like you said, like we can't be sure they're gonna be a top 3 seeded team. At the end of the day, like these teams gotta develop. We know Lakers
Yeah,
gonna
of
take the
course.
number 1 seed. We know that for a fact. Denver's still gonna develop. What else? What another team gonna develop? Utah still gotta develop. Just an example. Just an example. I say.
Yeah.
One thing I gotta mention real quick. I think the number one thing I'm kind of concerned about is defensively. Defensively, especially in the fourth quarter, defense is what concerns me. I saw in the fourth quarter, Paul George just absolutely tear that defense to shreds by himself.
Yeah.
I I don't know. I don't know if they can play team defense. I don't know if they, like in a playoff game when you need stops. I don't know if the Suns can give me a stop. If that makes sense. Like in the fourth quarter, I know
Yep.
it's early, but I know that it's there offensively, but defensively, I don't know because that's what really separates the best teams. Clippers, you know you can give me a stop. Lakers, everyone can get you a stop. Denver can get you a stop too, but I don't know, man.
Yeah. I don't believe about Denver. Denver's actually the 29th worst defensive team. They're ranked 29th this season. But that's
They're
because they lost defenders, though. They
They
lost
did.
defenders in the offseason.
But I don't know. I feel like if you're defending in the wing, oh man, MPJ is a liability. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So
you
with
can't-
Phoenix,
either.
I agree with you slightly, Johnny, about defensively. Because they do have good individual defenders. You know, Chris Paul is no scrub. He's just older, but he's no scrub. Mikal Bridges, great defensively. Jay Crowder, defensive monster. You know, DeAndre Ayton, he's getting a little better. You know, playing a little bit more in the low post. Javon Carter, underrated point guard, defensive point guard.
West Virginia prospect, bro.
That's
You know
my
he's
boy.
gonna shoot and he's gonna defend.
Oh yeah, Cameron Johnson, my boy from UNC. Shout out North Carolina. A good, also a solid defender. They have good individual defenders, but like you said, team defense is where it's a little iffy. But they could definitely manage. It's still early, like you said. So, with me, I believe Phoenix. Man, Chris Paul just he's doing exactly what he did in Oklahoma City, just with I believe with better talent. Honestly,
Of course.
just because you know D Book, he's something special, bro. He's something different. And like you guys said, D Book is finding the offense, like he's letting it come to him, like he's not forcing. And
No.
a lot of the responsibilities that he's had these past few seasons, he's kind of like now he's sharing it alongside Chris Paul. It's a beautiful 1-2 punch. And DeAndre Ayton, man, like I know we love Wiseman, I know we love like his game. DeAndre Ayton is what Wiseman could become even more, like because you know Wiseman is in his own tier, but as of right now, DeAndre Ayton, he is balling, and he's looking like fun, like he's having fun out there. Whereas you know
He's
in the
enjoying
past
it.
few
He's
seasons,
enjoying it.
you know he's been compared obviously to Luka and compared to Trey, you know obviously because they were all a part of that draft. But DeAndre Ayton is no scrub, and Chris Paul is really showing us like his chemistry alongside bigs unmatched. You know, so it's a really fun team. Do I believe that they'll be able to sustain the 1 seed? Probably not. Honestly, I'm not gonna stretch it too far and even say that they're top three. Definitely top five, like Jeremy said. Even if they do, slow down and go to sixth or seventh, will they make the playoffs? By all means, of course they will. But yeah, it's looking like a lot of fun. Chris Paul has done a tremendous job there. He's gonna keep doing that. And shout out Monty Williams. I believe he's
Yeah.
gonna be the coach of the year this season. But as for speaking of Chris Paul and DeAndre in, little guy and a big guy, pick and roll. Houston. So Houston is in a very weird position, right? Because they have players that are trying to, resurrect their career, I guess, in John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. They got Christian Wood, who's been balling, I believe most improved player, but we'll get into that. And then you got Harden, who we all know what's going on with Harden. He wants to get traded. Who knows what he wants to do now? But as of right now, what we know is that he wants to get traded, but he's putting up numbers, like statistics that like we all know Harden can do it, but we're just so surprised that he's doing it so efficiently after that picture that he posted that was posted of him being all fat and stuff. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
So like, what do you guys think about Houston? Like, what's gonna happen this season? Because I didn't have them in my playoffs. I don't know about you guys, but what do you guys think is like their peak this season with, considering that Harden stays with that team this season? I guess I'll start off. I'll start off with these with Jeremy on this one.
We just gotta see how this how this season goes, because at the end of the day, we know what Harden wants to do. At the end of the day, we do. It's
Yeah.
obvious, but we just gotta see how this team develops at the end of the day. Because it's funny, because the first game the Cousins come back, two texts already, and he was already out. So you just gotta watch. I still think they got it. Me personally, I still think they got it. How much they got it, not sure. It's still too early to call for it. At least
Mhm.
throw the white flag. But we just gotta keep watching how they play. So far, it's a great word to describe the team right now. It's a weird team. So
Yeah, exactly.
you just
And
gotta.
it was also tough too because the first game they were all supposed to play, uh, they were on that COVID protocol. So it was just it's dysfunctional. Again, I feel bad for Steven Silas, and yet it's not dysfunctional because they're winning games too. But I'll get into my opinion a little later. Johnny, what do you think about Houston and what's going on in that team?
Yeah, obviously not too much to say because I mean it's so early and that team is just so weird. But I think things to look for is if John Wall can play consistent, stay consistent.
Oh yeah,
I mean he's been averaging what? He's averaging like what 22 right now.
yeah, about 20 points a game.
21.3.
Yeah,
21.3. Yeah.
22, 23. Yeah, I want to see. I don't know. It's just so weird because there's just no chemistry. Like it's like they have chemistry with Harden, then he doesn't. I don't know, but they're scrappy though. That's what I've noticed. Like it's a scrappy team. They play to win. John Wall. I saw John Wall diving for loose balls like in game one. They they want to win. You can't question their wantingness to win. That's even a word. DeMarcus Cousins, we need to see. I want to see him get back to health. I want to see him.
yeah.
No, he looks okay. Looks okay, but that's it. That off the bench, DeMarcus Cousins off the bench. You have Naba off the bench. A lot
Amazing
of good
defense.
off the bench.
Oh
But
yeah.
I want to see if they can, because with the limited training camp, right? It's gonna be hard for them to like develop a cohesive unit, because how different is gonna be from like the Westbrook team, because like they showed flashes, but at the end of the day, they just weren't a good enough team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. Like it's too early to tell, but I like it so far. I like it so far. Like they're a scrappy team, and you really don't know what to look. You don't know what you're gonna get every night,
That's you hit right on the nose.
which could be a bad thing for opposing teams. Like look at the tape, like you don't know who's gonna hoop. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see if like Steven Silas can. It's a hard job for Silas right now. I feel bad.
Yeah. Shout out Steven Silas.
We'll see if like after the All-Star break, they have an identity as a team. But like it just seems like Harden's kind of free balling out there. He just hooping.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
We'll see. That's up to Steven Silas though. And I spent
Yeah.
like I'm talking about this, and we don't even know what's happening. My bad. Go ahead, son.
Don't worry about it. Isandro, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think do need to be a little more patient with DeMarcus Cousins. It has been like a night and day difference seeing two former Kentucky players coming off that Achilles injury. One of them is averaging 21 points per game. The other already has 2 technical fouls, right? So,
Yeah.
but I do think that we need to give him some patience because he is a bigger, like for big men, it's a different kind of injury, right? But it is really cool seeing John Wall actually kind of, I don't want to say prove the doubters wrong, but there have been some people doubting him before coming into the season. I kind of, right? I
Yeah.
kind of expected him to not be at 100%, but to kind of play closer to 70 to 80% of who he was, especially seeing, and this was like when he wasn't playing, due to the COVID protocol, especially seeing KD coming back and being KD and still, balling out. I kind of expected John Wall to kind of fall in the same vein, to also do well. So
Yeah, my only thing and my only thing with John Wall was that he relies on his athleticism so much, right? Like that's what I thought, coming in. But he looks basically like older John Wall, just smarter. That's the difference here. He just looks smarter.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
thing.
That's the thing. That he has to play smart. He's not the same person. He has the same player he was when he was
Exactly.
younger. So he
He's
could still
older.
he could still play. He could still play good. He just gotta play. He's gotta play smarter now. That's it. He has to control himself better at least.
This
No
is
way he
exactly
could do it now.
how this is exactly how John Wall was playing like the 2 years before he got hurt. Like
Yeah.
people were watching Washington enough, and we forgot about it 2 years ago. Like he was just, bro, it's been 2 years. But yeah, he plays so much smarter now. He knows the game, and he's still explosive. And you
Yeah,
can tell the
Yep.
athleticism is like it's a little down, but I mean, it's the first of the season. He's gonna get it back.
But what did I say? I said John Wall. He's gonna come back. I said
You
that.
did, yo. He
I
said
did.
that, and we all
I-
laughed at him so hard. And
Oh,
it was.
what do you mean? I knew John Wall was gonna be. And it's
No,
like,
I got
same,
bullied. I
same.
got bullied. If you guys look back at the
Yeah.
old episodes, I got bullied. I even made an edit of myself. Like how bad
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it was one of the worst. It was one of the worst takes at the time. But now, like looking back, hindsight.
it aged well. It aged well.
Yeah, and so my thing with John Wall, right? So he's, besides Michael Jordan, he's one of the first players to ever, or it's just him and Michael Jordan to ever score 50 points in his first 2 games back after being out for 2 years. Like that's crazy, and only John Wall and MJ. Like that's insane. My only thing is that he is the perfect player alongside Harden, way better than Russell Westbrook ever was alongside Harden. And the only thing is because Russell Westbrook and Harden are basically the same player, except Harden can make threes, Russ cannot. But Russ can drive in and yam it on people, whereas Harden, he won't do that as much, right? Where John Wall, though, he's always looking to pass. He's been like that in Washington, even alongside Bradley Beal. Why do you think they work so well? Because he was always, able to, like, he wanted to get his teammates
Team
involved.
first. He's a team first player.
Exactly. Whereas, Russ wasn't that way. And, he tried, but it's just not him. But now we see Wall and Harden, they could play exceptional together. I really do think they can be great together.
That's
Now,
why
was
that trade worked so well for both teams. Like they needed that veteran presence of Westbrook and Washington. Those young guys and Bradley Beal really needed that. And Harden and Wall fit so well together. But not so well, but like it's a better pairing than Westbrook.
Exactly. It kind of reminds me a little bit like when Chris Paul was there, except, obviously Chris Paul is way better than John Wall. But it reminds me a little bit because Chris Paul's also, pass first mentality. Same thing with John Wall. And let's not discredit that pick and roll offense or that pick and pop offense with Christian Wood. Christian Wood is a baller. I believe it's him as one of my top in most improved player voting because Christian Wood, amazing story, and just balling out there in Houston alongside these guys. But so let's steer away a little bit more from Houston. Do you guys, actually, one more question? Do you guys think Houston's gonna make the playoffs? Johnny?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sandro? Jeremy?
Yeah.
I still gotta see, but I say yes for now. I say yes for now.
Okay, I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna say no
For now,
for the heck of it.
I just gotta watch it. I still gotta watch it, but I
For
still
the
I say yes
Dunces
for now.
Podcast viewers, just want to let you know that Christian Wood's girlfriend left him on draft night.
Yo,
So,
because he
to
went
everyone that watches
undrafted,
the
bro.
video- They're watching the
That's
video.
crazy.
Focus on yourself, bro. Don't send that text. Leave her alone because she don't care about you, bro. She don't care about you.
That's right, because she's stuck with Dewey
Johnny
J,
with
ain't
the
that
life
right?
lesson,
Oh,
bro.
and you ugly.
Who hurt you, bro?
Hey, yo, whoever looking at this, you ugly, bro. This shit don't care about you.
Yeah, you're gonna make us lose our like 32 subscribers, bro. Don't do this stuff.
Just off
Hey,
of
yo,
that.
right,
Just
right,
off
right,
of
right.
that.
Hey, bro,
Um,
Tuesday not here.
No
Tuesday-
judging. We don't judge. We accept everybody. We accept.
That's
everybody.
right. That's right. So speaking of accepting, Christian Wood again. So I kind of want to get into this into talking about most improved player award. I don't want to get too in depth with it, but I believe Christian Wood is at the top of my list, at least for now, the first few games, as my most improved player for the 2020-2021 NBA season. But Isandro, say your player, and then I'm going to just jump in. So Isandro, who's your player for most
At
improved
this point in the season,
at this
right?
point of the season?
Julius Randle.
Okay, from the New York
Oh,
Knicks.
yes.
That's crazy. All right, Johnny, who's your most improved player? Just say it, and then I'll move on.
Most improved player is Collin Sexton. And,
Okay, all right. So we'll get into it. All right. So Jeremy, do you have anything different than what we just said?
I was leaning towards Julius Randle before, but I still gotta watch. But I feel comfortable with Julius Randle because the way he's balling out right now.
Okay, so we got two for Julius. So you know what? Let's talk about that. The Knicks have been balling. Okay, and it's sad to say because I hate the Knicks, but yo, Tom Thibodeau is doing such a great job with that team. And look, I was hearing a stat the other day. The Knicks, like they're the ones that use the least amount of their bench. What do you expect with a Tom Thibodeau team, right?
of course.
And he uses his best players, and right now his best player is Julius Randle. How many points is he averaging? If someone could look that up for me, unless
Julius Randle.
Julius
yeah.
Randle.
He's 20. He's 22, 11, and 7 right now.
That's crazy. That's
That's
crazy.
like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Let's talk about the Knicks, but most improved player. Reynolds put up numbers like this before in stretches. He doesn't deserve to be in most improved category right now.
Well, no. So let me fix that for you real quick. Right now he does, but because of what you're saying, in general, I don't think he should because of
Yeah,
his inconsistency. But right now, if we're talking about this, 22, 11, and 7 compared to last season, there's no debate. Yeah, right now he deserves to be in the discussion. Yeah, there's no debate.
That's who he is. That's literally who he is. And then he's gonna fall off at the end of the season like he always.
Exactly. And then he's gonna fall out of the MIP
That's what,
discussion.
that's why I said like for now on. I said like I'll go with Randle, but
For now, yeah. We'll see
Nah.
as the season, but this is like a way too early kind of thing. We'll see though.
If Christian Wood doesn't fall off, people just love the narrative and the story of Christian Wood right now. So that's why.
That's why.
But
Yeah.
I feel like Collin Sexton is the most improved player because of what he's had to overcome in Cleveland. Like he's really had to really grow as a player. And they draft another point guard. They draft Darius Garland, learn how to mash the both of those two together. I thought that wasn't gonna work. But right now that looks really good. He's found his jump mid-range, his three-point shot. The Cavs, I love watching the Cavs, bro. I just love watching the Cavs so
didn't
much.
Colin
he's
didn't he come in when LeBron left? He came in when LeBron left, right?
Yeah, the season
Yeah.
right after. Yeah,
Yeah.
Who was the one that said, "Oh, hopefully me and LeBron can, do
It was
some."
him. It was him.
it was Sexton. It was Sexton.
him,
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, that's what I was like. Was it him, right?
well, let's get back
So-
to the final.
So Colin Sexton, look, I love the way he plays. I do disagree. I don't think in a few years that backcourt isn't gonna work. I'm sorry, they're too small. Like defensively, it just won't work.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna amount to anything. But
Gotta get a
Colin
solid wing,
Sexton,
gotta get a solid wing.
you're right about Colin Sexton though. Colin Sexton is balling. My thing is though, he's a third-year player. I think as a third-year player, you kind of have to improve from your previous season. So that's my only knock on him. Other than that, he is probably the most deserving as of right now. It's Colin Sexton because no one expected this out of Cleveland. Everybody saw them at the bottom. At some point, they were 3-0. Who would have thought? But JaVale McGee has a lot to do with that. But Colin Sexton definitely is a good player. I still think it's Christian Wood, only because the adversity he's gone through, in his career. Like Johnny said, the storyline, but he's been balling. Like he's doing a great job, and that offense is just working for him. Steven Silas is putting him in a position to make the game flow easy for him. And Harden and him, like I mentioned, and I'll say it again: pick and roll, pick and pop. It's beautiful to watch alongside that. Christian Wood is. I think he deserves it because he's in the Western Conference and he's doing so much, like for a team that's winning, right? And they're winning pretty significant games. So I think it's Christian Wood, but I'm not surprised that you guys said Julius Randle. Because let's talk about the Knicks for a second, just 1 second. Because I can't stand the Knicks. I believe the Knicks are the worst franchise in NBA history. This season, they have an identity. And it's crazy to say that because they haven't had an identity for a while,
And
but they're playing really good defensive basketball, and offensively, they're gelling so well because they actually have a point guard who's trying to get more involved offensively and getting his other teammates involved. Alfred Payton is doing a great job. And Emmanuel Quickly from Kentucky,
Yes, sir.
that kid is balling, man.
Oh,
He's looking like fun.
Josh Steele.
Oh yeah.
I
He-
mean, Payton always been balling though. Like I always liked how he played when he was with the Magic. I like how he plays, honestly.
Alfred Payton.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
been balling. It's just that he just wasn't in the right system. He wasn't.
And I think now in this system it works for him, right?
Mhm. Correct.
And if you remember a few years ago with Julius Randle, just a quick point on him. Back in New Orleans, he played alongside Alfred Payton, and they balled out together. And that was one of Randall's best seasons, which got him paid that big contract from the Knicks, right? And look, Johnny, on your point of saying, like it's that Randall has a lot of these games and stuff, then he falls out. To be honest, that's most NBA players. But in Julius Randle case, he's like that guy. He's like, yeah, you see this in like 10 games and then he falls off for like 20. Same thing with Collin Sexton, though. Same thing with Collin Sexton. So if you're going to say that point about Julius, I think you also have to take into consideration Collin. Whereas Christian Wood, he might not because he has a better team around him than these other guys. But again, that's why it's such a good debate. At the end of the day, the one who most likely will get it, I believe, is Christian Wood because it's very similar to what Pascal Siakam had when he won the most improved. So just leaning on that, Christian Wood seems like the most obvious. But go ahead, Isandro. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
I think in terms of actually most improved player, it definitely is Christian Wood because if I'm looking at the stats right now, man's averaged 13.1 points per game. And now this season, he's averaging 23 points. That is the highest jump out of everybody. Julius Randle is averaging 3 more points per game. And Collin Sexton is averaging 5 more points per game. That is 10 points per game. It's crazy. That is the definition of a most improved player.
Oh, yeah. And if Christian Wood brings that team to the playoffs, I mean, obviously it won't just be him, but if that team gets to the playoffs and he's a bigger part of that, big reason for that, again, it's like Pascal when he won.
Exactly.
It's the same way. So I still believe Christian Wood has that edge, but I get what you guys say. Julius Randle, the Knicks team as a whole, balling. Tom Thibodeau doing a great job there, but Collin Sexton is also a good pick.
No injuries come in for the Knicks because Tom Thibodeau. I mean, poor RJ kneecaps.
He's gonna work hard, man.
Yeah.
That Knicks team's scrappy, bro. They defend. They play good. The players are buying into that system.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Yeah, but it's the workload that I'm worried about with the Knicks because it's working now, but during the season, it's the workload that they gotta manage better now. Because if they're gonna go to the playoffs, they have to run. They have to run deep. They have to run deep in the playoffs.
They chilling. They gotta. I think they're chilling. I mean, they're young players. Everyone's young. They're buying in. And I like the chemistry between the team as well. RJ Barrett. I just need RJ Barrett to get a consistent 3-point shot. I know it's not going to happen this season, but I need RJ Barrett to hit at least shoot 6-7 threes again.
You know what I need from RJ Barrett? I need him to start having tunnel vision, man. Like, look, we're gonna have one day because I have a friend that wanted me to do a Knicks podcast, and I have another friend who wants to join it. So I want to do like a whole video on just the Knicks, but how much I hate them and how much I believe that they suck. But I'm gonna give credit to where credit is due. That team is playing fun basketball. That game against Atlanta, it's fun. Julius Randle again, a big reason for that. Isandro, you got something to say?
Yeah, wait. So would it be 3 people bashing the Knicks, or are these guys actually Knicks fans?
So one of them is a Knicks fan. One of them is a Knicks fan. Well, both of them are, but the other one, he lives in Italy, so he doesn't really speak English. But shout out my boy Stefano, just real quick. He's super cool. He loves the Knicks, but he's like telling me, he's like, yo, do a Knicks video. And then my other boy Jerry, shout out Jerry. He wants to join in one day, and he's a big Knicks fan. Like, he has all the gear and stuff. His son, he just had a son last year or 2 years ago, also very big Knicks fan. So, because it's like father like son, you feel me? So I have to get him on it just so we could talk about the Knicks, because I have a lot of opinions about them, as you know. So, but yeah,
Oh, I've been hearing it kind of seep through the cracks of, of our conversations. Like you're like, oh, by the way, the Knicks, they're horrible. The organization in itself is just terrible. Every little
I
opportunity you get, you just like throw a little something there.
James Dolan is the worst. Besides Robert Sarver, I think they're both basically on par. Some of the worst NBA owners, but at least Sarver is doing something good in Phoenix. Anyway, we'll talk about that another day.
Cheap, but he's cheap. But hey, I mean, you're doing something right now.
That's right. But now, just real quick, after everything we've mentioned, are there any changes? Do you guys still believe in your picks and your original picks? Obviously, we're gonna get into this more in halfway season where we'll talk about it. But and then in another video where we're gonna talk about just overall awards. I want to do that video very soon with you guys. But as of right now, as of this moment, Isandro, who's your MIP?
MIP, you changed my mind. I'm thinking it's Christian Wood now.
Okay, nice. Johnny, where are you going? You gonna stick with it?
I still think it's Collin Sexton.
Okay, I respect it.
Especially if the Cavs jump, like they become a real playoff contending team, get to the six, because like the 6, 7, 8 seed, that's always fluid in the East. If they get a solid position and they look good, I think he's going to be in the running. Because Christian Wood, you never know what you're going to get with the Rockets team. But Collin Sexton, they can really build a foundation there.
Right.
Like, he has the better story. And and like I said, just one point, Alessandro was right about most improved. He could have been out of the league like 3 years ago. So from what he's had to overcome as a player, I think Christian Wood deserves that award more than anyone. But right now, I'm still glad my boy Collin Sexton.
Yeah, and plus to your point, the East, I feel like the 6 through 10, it's really malleable with how it's going to go. It's less rigid than in the West. So they really have some breathing room to make into, maybe they can squeeze into a 10th. Maybe if they overachieve, they can squeeze into an 8 or a 9. So
definitely. I think they have a play-in potential. So do the Knicks, by the way. As surprising as that sounds, they might have a chance.
I know you probably you of all people admitting that's gotta hurt, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm dying inside. But I just want to get a Jeremy just real quick. You still think it's Randle?
I mean,
you got somebody else different?
I mean, I'm gonna stick with Randall, but I'm leaning towards Woods right now. So I'm sticking
all right,
with
yeah.
Well,
That's
like it's for now. It's for now. Like I said, even before it's before. So
one more point. At first, like there's been a lot of blowouts, obviously, because this is training camp time, right? So teams are starting to get into the groove. But every team in the NBA is so much fun to watch. Like every team has hope. So once we get into like a 20-game range and these games start to matter a little bit more, man, the quality of the NBA, the ratings have gone up. Quality of the NBA is so much better.
Bro, you know how much trash I talked about the Pistons, like how they signed all those big men and all that. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, Jeremy Grant is another one who could also win Most Improved.
And you see Mason Plumlee? Mason Plumlee like an offense.
Plumlee is I'm telling you, like, you're right, Johnny.
Everyone's picking up.
Exactly. Everybody's having so much fun. But I think we can end it off here on a good note. Just want to mention real quick about the Nets. COVID protocols with Kevin Durant. He is off for the next few days, 7 days. But guys, remember, I think I said this in my last video. Please stay safe. Isandro, Johnny, Jeremy, please try to stay safe.
Please stay safe. COVID is real, guys. COVID is real. COVID is real. It's not fake. It is real, guys.
I just saw something, a report. 85 million people have COVID around the world, and that's just reported cases. Think about the people who we don't know that have it. Because
that's crazy.
Asymptomatic.
Crazy. I'm one of the people.
Did you?
Do you still count as having COVID, or is it like out of your system?
It should be. I think by the next 2 weeks, I'm getting like reviewed, see how much, and then I'll probably give myself a test. As of right now, I'm smelling better now. I just can't taste much, but I'm not coughing as much as before. So
damn,
that's
good.
good.
I'm pretty good. Like I'm pretty stable.
That's good, man. Like I said, guys, please stay safe out there. Try to always have your masks on if you guys have to get out. Please, including everybody, all of subscribers, please, make sure you guys have your masks on, sanitize, social distance, all that stuff, man.
Everybody in Future's label when coronavirus is over and mask on.
Mask off. It's gonna be mask off.
Oh man.
Everyone who made that song will retire early. This is over.
That's facts. Shout out Future. Future. That's the name too. Predicted it.
Future
True.
mascot.
Yo,
Yo.
hold up, bro.
Oh.
Conspiracy theory?
You're getting this off of Twitter, bro. Let's not gossip, bro. All right.
Did I really? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
heard that.
someone go
I gotta.
on.
I guess I saw that on Instagram. So I mean,
Instagram, but from a tweet.
yeah.
Oh, for real? I didn't see. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. But anyway, guys, please
guys.
stay safe. Isandro, Jeremy, Johnny, it was a pleasure seeing you guys today. It's the Dunces Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and then hit that like button. We love you guys.
Don't
Have a
copyright
great
us, future, please.
Facts. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. Have a good day. Stay safe.